So today we are going to do a painting. We're going to do a Northern Lights painting with some trees in front. So we're going to need, I needed these 5 colors because I didn't have a light purple and I'm going to make a light purple. The 2 colors that we are going to use, or 3 colors, are the light blue as a color on its own, the dark blue as a color on its own, the black as a color on its own, and then I'm going to actually use some red, white, and blue to make a purple. So what I will start with is I'm actually going to start with just making my purple because I'm not sure how it's going to turn out yet. So I want to use the center here for mixing. Ooh, just do a little bit of blue and then do quite a bit of white actually, because the white, there needs to be quite a bit of white for the darker colors. So let me get this open. It is sealed. There we go. So I'll do quite a bit of white in the middle because I'm going to need a bit of this color. And then I'm also going to do some red. And this mixture most likely will not be perfect yet. I just want to get an idea of what the color will be like this. It's looking like I put quite a bit of red, so I'm going to add some more blue because I want it to be more of a purpley color. This is kind of like a reddish color. Hopefully this green isn't too dark. Let me see if I can turn on my other light as well. Let me grab that light. I don't know if that helped, but we'll see. Okay. That's looking more like the purple I wanted. It's supposed to be like a pinkish purple, and I think it's just about there. Maybe a little bit more white and red so that I know that I have enough. Okay, spread it all around too. Whoops. That's okay. A little bit more red, then a little bit more white. It always takes me a little while to get the right color. I am showing you on the video just so that if you need to make your own, you can see how I did it and you can make your own. Okay, I'm liking how light that color is now and how it is kind of pinkish purple, so I'm going to add a little bit more white. Get even lighter. I would always start with a little bit of blue and a little bit of pink, or sorry, and a little bit of red, I mean, because you can always make it a little bit darker as you go. You'll have to use so much white if you start with too dark of colors. That's why I only started with a couple drips of each. So that is actually exactly the color that I want it to be. I want it to be that light pinkish purple. And then I'm just going to fill these other ones with my blue that I'll use later. And then my light blue. I'm going to put them in alternating ones just in case I lift this up and spill some in there. I just spilled a little bit of the light blue in there. That's okay. It's so little, and we'll be blending the colors anyways. Ooh, that one was a little bit gummy on the side. Okay, so I'm going to take my colors now and switch them with the canvas. So my colors are up here. Yeah, you can kind of see that. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so now I'm going to go up and down like this. Kind of make the colors scatter just a little bit. So they're not, notice how this goes down, then up, and then up some more. I'm going to start this one up a little bit too. And typically I try to get the sides. You can be doing this with a canvas, or you can be doing this with a piece of paper. If you do it with paper, make sure it's a thicker paper so it does not go through. So I'm going to do it like that. Then I'm going to wipe this off There's a lot of paint on there from all the mixing. Now I'm going to take my light blue and I'm going to start up above. I'm going to go back and forth. And I'm just going to be blending my colors in with each other. I'm going to take some more of the light blue. Trying not to drag too much of the purple up to the top here because I want it to then separate into just being the light blue color. There is a little bit up there and that is totally fine. I'm trying to cover up the white spots. I'm going to shake the blue a little bit because I think it was kind of liquidy. I'm going to pour some more in here. There, that's a little bit thicker. Also going to try and get the sides. Getting it on my table just a little bit, but my table is easy to clean paint off of, so make sure that where you're doing it, you either have something down on the table or that you know what paint you're using is washable. I'm using an acrylic paint because I'm using canvas, and I know that for me, I can get that off of this table specifically pretty well. So I'm going down into my purple to make it kind of look like those colors are blending together. I'm bringing the blue down as I'm dragging some purple up. Okay, and then I'm going to take my dark blue. I'm going to fill in the top. I'm going to dry off my brush and start blending those colors in a little bit more with each other. Thought my blue would be a little darker and it's not quite, so I think what I'm going to do, oops, I think I'm going to mix some of my black paint in with my blue paint once I get this combined how I want it. So I'm just spreading this out a little bit more. I want it to be darker at the top and lighter as it comes down. There, now it's starting to blend a little. I'm just going to snatch a little bit more of that blue. Go up. You can hear the train going by. Now I'm going to take the black and mix it in with my blue. The corners a little bit of dark. And I'm doing it really lightly with the brush downwards. Kind of trying to blend that down into the lighter blue. Okay. So now, take my thinner brush. Eek. Got the top of that all painted. I painted the edges of the canvas so that when you look at it from the side, then you can see the colors rather than seeing the just white of the canvas. Okay, so now I'm going to start my lines for my trees. So I'm going to start like this, and I'm taking the brush and turning it on its side and tilting it up so that my line is straight. And I'm steadying my hand with my finger down here on the table. I'm just going to do a line as straight as I can, down. Then I wiped off my brush to make sure I didn't have paint on it. And then I dip it in the black lightly, and I kind of dab the edges so that there's not a big glob on the top. And then I just use the corner, do little dots. And then once I start getting to where this is the lower part of the tree, start going back and forth a little bit more. I might grab a bigger brush because I want the base of my trees to be a little wider without me having to do that too much. Let's grab a better brush like that. This one looks a little too thick. I'm having a hard time finding the one that I want. So maybe this one will work. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to make the bottom a little bit wider. I think I like that one better. Okay, I'm going to use my thin brush again. Dip it in. Do another tree. Oh, there's pink on this. I'll dip it in again. Thought that the pink dried, but it's not. Not all the way anyways. That is my oops, making that tree just a little bit thick, but that's okay. I'll start at the top, do my little dots. The top of the tree, trying not to make them be perfectly alternate from each other. Kind of trying to make them scattered because trees are not perfectly symmetrical. These trees are hard. It's always okay to try these trees on a separate piece of paper before you start, because sometimes that helps us get the method down of how to do it, because I'm liking this tree better than these ones. So I'm thinking it might have been a good idea for me to start on a piece of paper and just test out the brushes and how the trees would turn out. Notice I'm just holding the brush flat and going back and forth. Now I'm going to add in a few little extra branches because I don't want it to be too symmetrical, again, like I was saying. And these trees specifically are going to have branches that just go straight across. They're not going to have ones that go up like a Y or anything like that that we might normally see on other types of trees. These trees, oh no, I lost my line. These trees don't do that. These trees go just straight across. Okay, now that I've kind of made them go up like that, I'm going to fit in a shorter one here, just to make it look less like I have a pattern going. I realized I put those lines kind of in order, so I wanted to make it less in order. And I'm going to do another tree right next to this one. Man! Okay, so I'm going to solve that problem by putting another tree right here, making them share some leaves, because I made an oops and dropped my brush on my canvas. And get some more black. I want to share it between those two trees. Again, I'm trying to make it look like it's not the exact same between both trees. So leaving some spaces in one with okay, kind of fixed the problem. I think that turned out okay. Now I'm going to take my thinner brush and I'm going to add a few little lines in the back. kind of like some trees way out there. I should have done that behind this one, so I'm going to draw that leaf over this one now to make it look like this tree is in front. Whichever one you draw last will look like the one that is in front. So I'm going to do that. And then, let's see, let's do one here. Just so that there's not any missing space. Whoops. I'm making a lot of oopses on this one. If you make oopses, that's fine. As always, it's totally fine. Now I'm going to add some of my black underneath. Kind of looks like a gray, but that's okay because our trees are looking kind of gray too. Okay, so again, like I was saying, I paint the bottom of the canvas or the edges so that you can't see the white of the canvas as much. It makes it look more finished that way. Okay, now I'm going to wipe this off, try and get more black. Maybe add in another tree here. So wherever you see that you need extra trees, there you go. Looks like I could put one here, but I kind of like that it's a little more open here, so I might leave that because then it looks like the forest is kind of tapering out. Then I'm going to take a little brush. You can also take the end of your brush. So perhaps that's what I'll do instead. I'll take the back of my brush. And I'm going to make some stars up in the sky. So I'm going to take the back, dip it in the white, and put some stars throughout. And the more paint you have on it, the bigger the stars are going to be. So I kind of want to separate them out to where I want them. You could do a moon, you could do whatever you want on yours. I think I want my stars like that. Okay. There is my trees and my sky. I hope this tutorial was somewhat easy to follow. I know things kind of changed throughout, but thank you guys for bearing with me. That was lots of fun. I'll see you guys later.